Okay, this is a short video on how to use the G7 correctly. So the G7, like many other rifles in this game, has a spray pattern. You wouldn't think it because it's single fire, but as long as you shoot at the maximum fire rate, the weapon will behave reliably. See how it pulls up and slightly left? Okay, we're going to focus on the first 5 bullets of this pattern, right? So we're going to aim center mass here on this wall. We're just going to kind of look at the pattern as we shoot it. You should notice it kind of goes up for 3 bullets, and then it kind of goes up and to the left for 2 bullets-ish. There's slight variation between each instance, but that's because the weapon has recoil and bloom and all those other little tiny things that make the weapons ever so slightly consistent. But in general, the weapon goes up, 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 right, right. Now, why do we care about this? Well, the iron sights can't be trusted, okay? If you try to follow with the iron sights, like look how much it goes up and down. Like you just can't trust that. Even if you can see like this, once the weapon starts jittering like this, it's really not something that you can use to like reliably track a target. So if we can't use our sight to do that, well then what the fuck do we do? Well, we compensate, right? So I'm going to shoot 5 bullets. Now I'm going to compensate for that by drawing that line. Dink, 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 dink. That's all I'm doing. Dink, 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 dink. I'm really only using my eyes to line up my first shot, and then I'm just using my right hand to compensate for everything else. See how tiny that grouping is? I'm not looking at all. I'm not using the iron sight for anything. All I'm doing is I'm lining my first shot up, and then I'm using recoil control to control the weapon. Okay, so that's kind of the fundamentals of it. Let me show you some applications. So let's go up here to the top so I can show you what I mean. This is about 100 meters.
Got company out there.
Ish, give or take. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So if I try to follow this with my eyes, like, it's just not, the information that you're getting just sucks. So I'm going to do the same kind of fundamental. I line up my first target, and then I'm just going to shoot 5 rounds. And again, there's a little bit of variation between each pattern. My pattern, the one that I'm drawing with my hand or using a controller for, is doing an average of those. So you're never going to be 100% on, even if you have the most godlike pattern reproduction. You have to understand that being a perfectionist is not the goal. Instead, you have to think about what the effective range of your weapon is. So what's the effective range? The effective range should be I shoot 5 rounds and 3 bullets hit my target, at least. But preferably 4 to 5. You know, but preferably 4 to 5, but we can't always guarantee that. But that's about the limit of what I think the effective range of a weapon is. 60% of the shots need to hit. That was a bad one. Hello? So like even back here at 100 meters, I'm not having any problem engaging these targets. Right, no attachments, no barrel mod, no optics. Line up my first shot, compensate for recoil. And then the secret is when you add the optic in, the fundamentals don't change. I'm just using this the whole point of an optic is that I can see more and I can see like there's more open space. Where the iron sight kind of obscures a lot of the immediate information next to the target, I can see a lot next to the target if I want to, but the fundamentals don't change. I line up my first shot, and then I compensate the pattern. Right? I'm not using the iron sight or the optic to do the aiming for me. I'm lining up my first shot, and I'm letting my hand and my recoil control do all the work. But I don't need an optic to do that. An optic helps. Like it objectively improves the time that you acquire targets. But like, I can do damage just fine with a G7 off the floor. Anyway, hopefully that helps you kind of build a better relationship with the weapon.
Let's displace there.